It's 2015, Los Angeles. Pop singer Katy Perry sets her sights on an 8-acre convent. Yes, a convent. Owned by the Sisters of the Most Holy and Immaculate Heart of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Archdiocese signs off. Perry offers $14.5 million and the ink is almost dry, but two elderly nuns slam on the brakes. Sister Catherine and Sister Rita had lived there for decades. They didn't trust Perry. Why? Her image, her past, and her sudden interest in holy grounds. Perry even shows up, flashes her Jesus tattoo, and sings a hymn in a bizarre attempt to win them over, but the nuns aren't buying it. They didn't like Perry so bad, so nuns came out with the play. They try to sell the property themselves to a third party, but the courts say nope. That deal's void. And then tragedy strikes in 2018. Sister Catherine collapses and dies in court during the legal battle. Sister Rita later says Katy Perry has blood on her hands. Coincidence? Legal wrangling? Or something darker in the City of Angels? You decide. But remember, not all that glitters in Hollywood is gold, sometimes it's guilt. So let's summarize it. Perry bought the residence through the Archdiocese, which claimed legal ownership, the nuns. They opposed it fiercely. One even went to court to block the sale, but during the proceedings, Sister Catherine Rose collapsed and died in court, a tragic coincidence.
Feud between pop star Katy Perry and a group of nuns trying to stop the singer from moving into their former convent.
One of the sisters suddenly collapsed and died during a court hearing today.
That one of the nuns involved in this case collapsed and died today during a court proceeding related to the case.
Elsa, I can tell you this has been a very ugly battle for the ownership of this convent. It's been Katy Perry aligned with the Archdiocese versus these nuns. One of them died in court today.
Perry eventually won the case.
One time that we do it, we're going to go all the way. Yes, that's right. No half-assed.
The court ruled that the Archdiocese held the authority to sell the land, not the aging sisters who had lived there for decades. But here's the twist. Years later, Perry still hasn't moved in. No major renovations, no known occupation, just silence. So we ask, what did Katy Perry want with this specific property? Was it the panoramic views of Los Angeles? The spiritual energy of a convent untouched by time? Or something deeper, something hidden? Because when religion, power, celebrity, and death intertwine, the story is never as simple as it seems. Built in the 1920s, the sprawling estate in Los Feliz was a place of seclusion, prayer, and silence, a spiritual fortress hidden in the Hollywood Hills, literally overlooking the city of dreams and sin. The Sisters of the Immaculate Heart of Mary lived there for decades. Most of the sisters were elderly, and the Archdiocese began consolidating church properties. That's when things started to shift.
We own the property which was stolen. And I'm sorry, but I just can't sit back and let that happen. You have stolen the property of the Sisters of the Immaculate Heart. Please, Archbishop, do what is right in your heart.
Save us to buy the property. She had nothing to do with forcing herself on it.
We're trying to get out to the public and tell them, look, what is being done to Dana Hollister is absolutely wrong. The judge was wrong. The poor jury, didn't they even admit? They didn't know what was going on. They admitted it afterward.
Because they didn't get both sides of the story.
The sisters believed the convent belonged to them, a gift from a benefactor passed into their care. The Archdiocese claimed otherwise, but here's the thing. This wasn't just land, it was consecrated ground. And when Perry, known for her provocative image and past his too deeply conservative Christian upbringing, set her eyes on this sanctuary, the question wasn't just why. It was why this one? There are dozens of luxury properties in La, but Katy Perry wanted this former convent badly. She even invited the sisters to a private meeting to convince them with a performance of Oh Happy Day. They refused. Sister Catherine Rose's quote, "We asked her, please do not buy our home," she persisted. Then came the courtroom battles, and during one hearing, Sister Catherine collapsed and died, a chilling moment, one that led some to ask, was this a sign or a sacrifice?
Extremely pleased with the judge's ruling today. He has ruled invalid the Dana Hollister sale, and we think she's likely not to be living there after 45 days.
As I said at court, we're prepared to. Ms. Hollister is prepared to pay. Is in a position to pay for the entire property right now. Ms. Hollister's closing was done on an emergency basis at a time when the Archdiocese was threatening to transfer the property off and sell it to Ms. Perry without the input of the nuns. We're concerned about the benefit of the nuns.
To this day, Perry hasn't moved in. She brought in her architect, talked of renovations. But the house sits eerily still, silent, watching, almost like it's waiting for something. Some say the land is cursed. Others say the spiritual energy of the nuns still lingers guarding the space, and in conspiracy circles, whispers grow louder. Was this about real estate? Or was it about claiming something sacred? What if this wasn't just a real estate deal? What if it was a ritual? Let's talk about Katy Perry, pop icon, illuminated by fame, born into a strict evangelical Christian household, forbidden to listen to secular music, raised to preach, not to perform. She didn't just leave religion, she flipped it on its head, and when she ascended to superstardom, her music videos became ritual theater. Dark Horse, E.T., Wide Awake. They don't just push boundaries, they echo occult symbolism, Masonic imagery, ancient goddesses, and fallen angels. Coincidence? So when she sets her sights on a former Catholic convent, a sacred site, high in the Hollywood Hills, people start to wonder, was this about power or possession? Let's ask a deeper question. What happens when a former religious site is claimed by someone who walked away from that world and built their fame on challenging its symbols? Is it just real estate? Or a spiritual reclamation? And here's where it gets even darker. Just before her death, Sister Catherine said, "Katy Perry represents everything we are against," and moments later, in court, she collapsed. That was March 9th, 2018. Since then, Perry has won the property, but the home remains largely untouched, quiet, undisturbed. Why? Is it cursed? Or did it serve its purpose already? Because in the heart of Los Angeles, a city where power is currency and symbolism is language, a pop star buying a convent isn't just a headline, it's a message. To whom? We can only speculate, but in this town, nothing is coincidence. Was this just a celebrity buying a house? Or was it part of something bigger? A message? A ritual? A reclamation of sacred ground? What really happened behind those chapel walls? And why, after all this time, is the property still waiting? Let me know what you think in the comments. Are we connecting the dots? Or just seeing what we're meant to see? If you're drawn to the hidden stories behind the headlines, to the symbols in plain sight, and the secrets hiding in the shadows, subscribe, join me as we follow the clues they don't want you to find, because in a world full of noise, the truth is always whispered.